All right, everybody, you know what time it is. The Real Talk Sports Show is coming up right now. All right. We are here with the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, Mr. Jonathan Simmons, and we thank you for watching us here on all channels. We are very, very thankful to have you join us here this evening on the Real Talk Sports Show. And again, we're very, very pleased that you have decided to join us here on this station. We're broadcasting to you live on multiple platforms, including Facebook, YouTube, and also on Twitter TV. We also are broadcasting live on the Twitch TV app as well. So again, we're very, very thankful to those of you who have joined in on the program this morning. We thank God for not this morning, actually this evening. So thank you for popping in here onto the broadcast. We're going to take a quick little spin out for a break here, and then we're going to check back in and make sure we are live and with you on and popping. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. Hang tight.
The day has arrived. It's time to let more people know about your business. You have the right marketing plan and the messaging in place. But do you have the right messenger? Good advertising and promotions need a professional sound so the message can be clearly understood. Don't leave your brand image to chance. Let our team of voiceover experts at CME lend you a hand. Give us a call at 678-304-8121 to find out how we can partner with you to give your business its voice.
All right, we're back here at the Incredible Real Talk Sports Show. We're thankful that we are back with us here, and we're very, very pleased to be back here on the air. And it does appear my camera is working again now. My monitor was a little off, but we are back. For those of you who just tuned into the broadcast, I'm the host, Minister Jonathan Simmons. You can follow me anywhere on social media right here. Here's the show. Real Talk Sports, the number 7, or you can follow me personally at Minister J. Sim. We'd love to have you join us on the broadcast. We also are always looking for guests. So if you have a compelling story, you'll see that also on the screen as well. Hit me up on via email, jsimmons@realtalksports.net, or simply give me a call, 678-410-9833. Well, you know, anytime we do this broadcast, we always bring on one of the most beautiful women in sports talk radio or TV. We simply know her as the Queen, Miss Tree Dolman. Welcome back.
Hi, Jonathan. Hi, everybody.
And there she is. Look at that smiling face. Well, listen, Tree, I hope everything is going well with you today.
I'm blessed. How about you?
I'm going to let people get the full view of your beautiful face. Tell us a little bit about what you were doing over the weekend.
Watching sports, working, except for Sundays. I recognize the Holy Sabbath. But yeah, I stay busy. So that's what I was doing. What about you? Hello? Okay. Well, hi, everybody. Yeah.
Right. Well, it sounds good. And hopefully my headset will start to come on here. I got a problem here with my headset. I'm trying to dial it all the way up so I can hear everybody well. But that's the way things go sometimes when you are live. You have the little quirks in the machine. So again, we're thankful. I'm going to switch my headsets here, so everybody hang tight for a second. You'll see me disappear off the screen. I'll let you look at the beautiful queen as I change my headset. Hold on, everybody. Hang tight.
Okay. But while you're doing that, I just would like to thank everybody again who
Headset
participated
switcheroony
and who
here.
donated for our Go Great Forward Cure 5K that we did. It was a virtual 5K, and it was for brain cancer research so that we can find a cure. So everybody that donated, they donated for a cure, they walked for a cure, they ran for a cure. And so from the bottom of my heart and from my board, thank you so very much to everybody who made a donation, who reposted or sent a message to somebody else, or who signed up to walk or run. It really means the world to me from the bottom of my heart. And all of this is in memory of my beloved hubby, Chris Dolman, who passed away from glioblastoma. And I appreciate everybody being in this fight with me so that we can find a cure, so that people don't have to lose loved ones to brain cancer anymore. And I guess we're still waiting on Jonathan. So, but yes, thank you to everybody. It really means the world. And right now, this is June, and working on some things. I have 2 nonprofit organizations, and so we're working on a couple of things with both of those nonprofit organizations. I'm always working on something positive to help other people, and I stay busy, but I love it. And also, this will be my last year reigning, or my last few months of being the reigning queen. And I plan on continuing to do a lot of appearances and community service. Even when I no longer am reigning, I live my life to be a blessing to other people. So that's what I will continue to do. So I know you guys did not tune in just to hear about me, but we're here to talk about sports. So I'm really excited for the playoffs. Anybody been watching the playoffs? Oh my goodness, like the games are just going back and forth. It's great basketball. I love this game. Love it, love it, love it. I see you have a new headset.
It's been on. Hopefully, I got a new headset. I'm going back to the old school like they do in the radio stations. So I have a separate microphone, separate headset. And so now I can hear you loud and clear. And hopefully everybody can still hear me as well. So great
stuff. You sound kind of far away. Kind of.
How about better now? Better?
It doesn't sound like it's on.
Okay. How about now? Are we any better?
Still doesn't sound like your mic is on.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and let you and Deshaun take it over. Let me bring Deshaun Tate into the building. Deshaun Tate, welcome back to our show, sir.
Deshaun!
How you guys doing? I appreciate you guys for having me per usual, and I heard you guys talking quite a bit about, the NBA Finals, and I can't think of many other reasons that I would be here outside of to talk about something basketball. So anytime it's 94 feet long, 50 feet wide, give me a second. Let me think of my dimensions and measurements. 23 feet, 1 3/4 inches out on the perimeter, I think it is. And if the rim is 10 feet tall, then that's what I'm here to do. Talk about some hoops. What's going on?
All right. I love it. Nothing much. Let's talk about some hoops. I'm so excited about the finals. Basketball has just been phenomenal. So what have you been seeing with the finals, and what's been your takes on the Golden State Warriors and then also on the Boston Celtics?
Yeah. This is one of those NBA finals where, I think the consensus would probably agree that Golden State is going to be the team to win it. I took Golden State in 6 games. After the first game, or after the first, 3 games of the series, I know a lot of people were kind of backpedaling and so forth. Personally, I see this as one of those things where it's just a little bit too much experience for Golden State. I mean, when you start looking at games like last night, for instance, where, Steph Curry wasn't having a phenomenal game, and you had other guys that just kind of picked up the slack around him. And the beautiful thing about the finals, I think, in general, between both of these teams respectively, is that built their teams through the draft for the most part. I get it. Andrew Wiggins here, Al Horford there. So from here, here and there, they obviously have built the team beyond just the draft and through free agency and trades and so forth. But for the most part, that's how they were established, and that's what basketball is all about. Who doesn't love seeing the organic way that you build a team, which is through the draft and building those players and giving them that experience, and just it's not, it's not shocking to see the way that Golden State has kept their big three between Green, Thompson, and Curry, and then of course bringing in Wiggins, but even got other guys on the back end between Gary Payton the second and Jordan Poole is another one of those players, and the Kevon Looney has been there for what feels like ever. He's been there that entire time and getting multiple championships. And on the back end of that, you still got a lot of young guys as well. When you start talking about the Jonathan Kuminga is going to be coming around not long. We haven't even talked about James Wiseman very much, a former top 3 pick in the NBA draft. So I just think that it's interesting all across the board, and I can't wait for Game 6 to see how it goes on, how it goes down.
Now, hopefully my microphone is somewhat better now. I hope you can.
A
Okay, perfect.
lot better,
Finally.
yes.
Praise the Lord. All right, there we go. All right. Well, also when we do the show, we have a beauty queen, and we also have a champion playing over a decade in the NFL. He is not one, but a 2-time Super Bowl champion. He also is a Fort Valley State Sports Hall of Famer. The one and only Tyrone Poole is in the building. Tyrone, welcome back, sir.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? Hope everybody's well. How you doing, Tree? How you doing, Deshaun? How you doing, Jonathan? Hope everybody's well. Those watching and listening.
Hey, Tyrone.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, sir. Good to have you back. For those of you who don't know, Tyrone is also a phenomenal motivational speaker, and we got a chance to tune into him today. He does a tremendous segment on it is called Clubhouse, and they have a room that is called Breakfast with Champions. They have, I'm not sure how many members. I want to say it's probably closer, somewhere between 50 to 100,000 people are in the club. And Tyrone brought his Work That Thing magic this morning. So Tyrone, shout out, sir. How many?
175,000 members.
175,000. I knew it was some big number. So yeah, Tyrone was bringing it and had the crowd rocking, and even has some music in the background going on at the same time. Tyrone Poole, the bad man.
Hey man, praise God. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
All right, so let's see here. I know we've been chopping up a little basketball. Tyrone, we have the basketball savant, the one and only Deshaun Tate back in the building. Do you have any questions for him about how things have been proceeding in the NBA Finals so far?
Nah, no questions at all. I just, me personally, this is just me. I call a spade a spade. I don't like games. Pretty much, I'm beginning not to like any type of professional sports where they have series. Because at the end of the day, people can say what they want to say. It's about the money. And I do believe it'll go Game 7. Again, it's just what it is. I didn't watch the game, but I did watch my social media. And I think there was somebody highlighted a situation where Draymond Green could have did a layup and got 2 points, but he threw the ball back for a 3-point shot. You go from a high percentage shot to a low percentage shot. I don't know, man. It just, I don't know. I don't know. Like Herm Air would say, you play the games to win. So that's all I say on that.
But they did.
Tyrone is saying he's feeling some shade.
I understand they won, but I'm saying there are antics in the game that really, if you're trying to win, you don't do stuff like that. Again, like I said, this is just me personally. I don't like games where they play series because it's gotten into a money thing. It's a money thing now. I've been a part of that game. All right. It's about money. Guys, players want to get paid. The league got to pay the players. Who they get their money from? The fans, those who are watching. All right. So when do you tune in? When it's a Game 7 or when it's a big game, a Game 6, a Game 7. The TV ratings go up. That means more money. There's more money. Now player salaries go up. Owners' pockets get fatter. So it's just like anything. In order to get the people to pay, you got to keep them in suspense. So I'm not saying the players are out there throwing it away. I don't think. I know for football, the players, I don't think we are. But I think in the NBA, I don't know. Maybe baseball, can the umpire kind of dictate the game? Can the referees kind of dictate the games? Yes, they do. Yes, they can. That's just me. But they win or lose. I'm just saying.
Deshaun, do you have any rebuttal for that? Because Tyrone is thinking something shady going on in the NBA. Real quick before we go to the break.
Respectfully, I'm not always the biggest fan of the game that's played where people are hiding behind face masks. But that's just me. The series, I can understand. I can understand that. Not every game is going to be played where when it comes down to the final game within itself, is just a winner go home scenario. And I get that too. The beauty I think about not just the NBA, or let's take it to Draymond Green for a second. Passing up on a shot where he could have had a layup. It's not a secret. Everybody knows how bad Draymond Green has been playing. He is one of the smartest players, high IQ, do it all, Swiss Army knife players, very edgy, a straight dog. The definition of that, if you look into your imaginary dictionary. But with that high IQ, if he is the type of player that believes in facilitating and distributing that ball to put it in the hands, as bad as he's been playing, he goes up for a layup and missed the shot, and you got inarguably, in my respectful opinion, the best shooter to ever play this game and kick it out for him for a 3-point shot. I think a lot of people would think that would be blasphemous for him to try and go for a shot knowing how bad he's been playing. But then you got this other guy out there who's likely going to be the finals MVP that can knock down the shot. As good as those Splash Brothers are, why not kick it out to one of those guys? To me, it's a smart decision.
I guess you don't like auto racing either then. You say anything behind the helmet, so I guess you don't like auto racing. But
maybe
again,
not the biggest fan, not the biggest fan.
You know, it's just like when my man, who I think he's one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, you know, he runs. So I'm not gonna call his name, but everybody know he played with the Packers. You go and you throw the ball across your body. Okay, throw the ball across your body when you got an opportunity to run it in. All right. Again, during COVID, you know what? We don't want to bring a lot of fans into Florida. It's already a hot spot. I don't know. Like I said, people can call it what they want to, but again, sometimes it is what it is. It's all about the money, man. Call it what you want. Call it what you want.
It always will be.
I will say this, and just my personal opinion, and I'm not being biased. Everybody knows, yes, I love Steph Curry. He's my favorite NBA player. Yes, everybody knows from months ago I've been picking the Golden State Warriors to win the finals. I get that. But I also keep it honest and I keep it real. But for me, I just felt like with that play, I didn't think it was a shady play or him trying not to score just because it was the Golden State Warriors. Now, if I would have seen that with other teams, yes, it would be like, okay, now why did you pass up the easiest shot for a 3-point? That doesn't make sense. But in my personal opinion, I just thought that he was trying to get him going because he was having a bad 3-point night. And they are the best 3-point shooting team. And Steph is the best 3-point shooter in the world. So I didn't see anything wrong with that because it was this team. So I do see your point also with a person passing up a layup for a 3-point shot. But I also will have to agree with Deshaun that me personally, I do like where you play multiple games instead of just one game for a final, because to me, it really just shows if you can beat this team this many times, then you really are the best if it goes to series. But then I also like football too, where you don't do that. But then I know some people are wanting football to go that route. So I can see it from both stances, but I personally do like where you play multiple games and then the best of the series wins. That's just my personal preference with basketball.
That's a nice way to make them feel
folks,
better.
We got to wrap it up. We got Jonesboro High School standing in the wings. We're cutting into their time. So we'll have to break this argument later on. All right, we'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net.
And we are back here, ladies and gentlemen, talking more sports. You can see right across here, we have Tyrone Poole, the world champion, up in the corner. We have right next to him, the Leatherman Street Dolman, and of course, yours truly, the minister. Well, each and every second Tuesday, you know how we do it? We like to bring in the Cardinals from Jonesboro High School, and I believe they are in the green room right now. There he is. We're going to bring him on now. He's the head coach of the Jonesboro Cardinals. Mr. Timothy Floyd is in the building. Sir, welcome back.
Hello, how are you all? Thank you for having us.
We're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good. I believe you have a couple of your athletes with you as well, sir.
Yes, sir. Got a few D linemen with me tonight.
Oh, he got the beef. Show me the beef. All right, let's go first. I see him in the wings here. He's one of the big men on the defense. Mr. Justin Hill is in the building. Sir, welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing great, young man. I think we also have, I see him in the green room. His camera's on. Damon Wilson is in the building. Welcome, sir.
How you doing? How you doing?
Good. Good to see all you guys. Good to see all you guys. All right, Coach, really quickly before I throw it to the panel, how has the things been going for you guys so far? Was this like your third week of preseason practice or spring practice?
This is our second week. Last week first, this is the second week. Just been in the weight room, get some conditioning in, trying to make sure our bodies are right, and talking about getting our minds and that nutrition that we talked about last time. Still working on that.
All right, still working on nutrition. Well, Tyrone, what advice would you have for these young men? I know you tried to tell them last time about the importance of nutrition. Let's kind of recap that again. How important is it to eat right so you can play right?
Oh, you always got to eat right. You got to eat right. But one of the questions I want to ask Coach, like when I was in high school, we had we call it the Ironman contest. And this is one reason why I think, LaGrange, our football was dominant for so many years. And they still do the Ironman contest. But the Ironman contest consists of you max out, right? You got like a scorecard. You got a scorecard. And you max out on bench. And you do bench, power cleans, squats. You jump on a 30-inch box for 30 seconds, seeing how many jumps you can get. Lane touches, the basketball lanes for 15 seconds. We run the 40, and they get our 10 in between that, and then we run a quarter. I think that's about it. And so with that, they calculate like who is the Iron Man of the football team, which basically saying who's your best athlete. So I think that played a very big role in our success because the coaches were able to determine that even though this guy may play defensive line or offensive line, he's strong, he's big, he's quick. On a particular situational play, we put him over on defense, and boom, we stack it up. So I say all that to say, is there any type of scoring, or how do you determine your athletes' abilities? Since you say you guys are like in working out phase right now, is there a test that they have to do that you guys record to see their progress or the overall strength of the team?
So I guess the biggest thing is when we have lift-a-thon, we try to find the guys that make the 1,000-pound club, which includes bench, power clean, and squat. And also with our Power Clean 225 club. Those really the only ones that we measure, until the end of the summer when we do the conditioning test.
Yeah. And I'll finish with this, but you just remind me of that Power Clean. I still remember my numbers like it was yesterday. When I was my Power Clean, my senior year was 285. 285 Power Clean. I used to snatch it and drop up under it, and then finish it up with a front squat. I think my back squat was like 465. My bench press was like 345, 355, somewhere in there. So Yeah, they used to give us that shirt with the weights bent. You have your the amount of weight. So, but I was the Iron Man for LaGrange High School my junior and senior year, so I was the overall best athlete. But no, it's good to see how different high schools measure their athletes. But that's good.
Why am I not surprised?
Tyrone, how much did you weigh at that time?
Coming out of high school, I was probably about 175, 178, about 178.
Interesting. Well, I have a question for the players, Justin and Damon. Hello. So, what I would like to know from both of you, I have two questions. The first is, what is it that you feel that you bring to the team that's special from anybody else? And then, secondly, what is it that you want the world to know about you that you don't think that they do know? So, Justin, you first.
Nice.
One thing that I feel like I bring to the team is that I'm always working and I'm always making sure my team is staying on track. They're going to do that practice.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said one thing that I bring to the team is that I'm a leader on the field and off the field. Like I always make sure everybody's staying on track.
Are you moving your hand or something? Is it just me that can't hear him when he's talking?
We got a little bit of a squeaky noise. I'm not sure if it's the microphone he's using, but I'm getting a little bit of a squeaky noise.
Okay, I thought it was me.
Or maybe it was the computer.
All right, you want to go to Mr. Damon Wilson next?
Okay, you, Damon.
One thing I bring to the team is love and leadership. Second, I want the world to know that they don't know that this year coming from.
Woo! I love it.
You sound ready to bring it. Yes, sir. Let's go here to social media for a second here. We got Chicago Bears 360 with Coach T. I'm not sure he's asking a question. I know he's asking whether he thinks Tyrone is the coach on the team or whether he's asking you, Coach DeFloyd. But he's saying, what position do you coach? Here it is. He was also trying to give us some advice about turning the volume down. But Coach explained to him that you are the head coach. I think he didn't pick that up when we first tuned in.
Yeah, I'm the head coach. I don't coach a position at this time, and I do miss coaching the position. But I'm just kind of overseeing now. I got some great coaches doing some really good things, so that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah, no doubt, Coach. Great stuff going on over there in Jonesboro. We had a chance to watch you guys live and in person your first game, and it's like, okay, we're gonna. One thing, Coach, I will say, you guys have no fear of scheduling top teams right off the rip. So last year, you guys played against Elko, one of the best teams in the state. Kind of a tough game there, and then you took on the Raiders from out of the Dale, and that was a squeaker, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. We ended up pulling it out 8-7, but I think we saw a lot of things that we were looking for, and a lot of things that we really need to work on.
Okay, we got somebody lobbying, Coach, in here. Coach, Chicago Bears 360 with Coach T. I guess Coach T is looking for work. He said, I'm asking because I need a coaching job. So I can tell you, sir, you go ahead and contact Coach DeFloyd on Facebook. Check him out, and I'm sure if he's got a position open for you, maybe he'll consider you. There you go. It's Coach Timothy Floyd. You see his name right up there. I'll put it up on the screen for you. And there he is. If you want to call Coach DeFloyd, he's at Jonesboro High School. So there he is. So, Coach, you might have a helper.
He'll reach out to me, and we'll see what we can do.
I think you have another young man in the green room. I'm gonna try to pull him up here. I think I'm not sure that is down the green room because they're kind of off to the side. So I'm not sure that's a guest or not. Let's go back to social media here. HC Hardy is asking a question: do high school coaches have opportunity to develop and coach middle school players during the summer that are possibly going on during the school within the following year? So I guess the question is, do you guys go to some additional training or coaches clinics during the summer?
We do. I think it's very important for us to always learn and get better at our craft. When it comes to, I guess, middle school kids transitioning to high school, we invite them in to start training, trying to get acclimated. And as far as the guys that are still with middle school, we reach out and help we work with the middle school coaches as much as we can. So we try to cover all of those areas because it's very important to the program, and it's really important to those kids.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Final questions for the panel as we get ready to wrap up the session. Mr. Poole or the Queen? I guess the answer
Nothing
to
from
that
you,
might be
Tyrone?
no.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I didn't know Tyrone is muted. But you're muted, Tyrone.
No, I don't have any more questions.
Oh, there you are. Yeah. I just wanted to go back to Justin and see if we could hear him now because I couldn't hear. So I wanted to give Justin the opportunity.
Hello, y'all can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, Justin.
There he is. Dun, 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 dun. Go ahead. Floor is yours, young man.
All right, so one thing I bring to the team is leadership, and on and off the field. I always make sure my teammates stand on top. And one thing that they ain't ready for this year is I'm gonna be different. It's gonna be a different season.
I look for some good stuff going on with you guys. Definitely. Let's go ahead and if you guys want to follow them on social media, here it is right here. You can follow them, Jonesboro High School Football. It's at JHSS Cardinal Football, or you can check them out on Twitter at JHS Cardinal FB. Again, support them and please come out. Coach, when's the first game of the season?
August 20th is the first regular season game. We take on school around the corner at Terra Stadium. That's
for those of you who don't know who that is, that's Mount Zion Jonesboro High School, which Coach and the crew never refers to them by name, just a school around the corner. All right, Coach, as always, man, good having you guys with us. We look forward to having you back again on Jonesboro Tuesday.
Thank you. Let's go, Burrow.
And that's it, guys. If you want to contact us, if you got some great information, a great sports story, there it is. You can contact me directly, jsimmons@realtalksports.net. You also give me a call, 678-410-9833. Everybody, we'll be back with more after this quick little commercial break. We'll see you. Don't go nowhere. Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net. All right, we're back here, guys, at Real Talk Sports Show again. If you have a compelling story, hit me up on email, jsimmons@realtalksports.net, or simply give me a call, 678-410-9833. We would love to have you or one of your friends or family members come on and join us. Again, we are doing this show here live, broadcasting you on several platforms, YouTube Live. We're also on Facebook Live, and we're also on Twitter TV, and we're also on Twitch. And with me, you can see I have beautiful people and world champions right next to me. I have the lovely Miss Tree Dolman. And right underneath us there, we have the two-time world champion. That's right, two-time Super Bowl champion and great motivational speaker, Mr. Tyrone Poole. Well, we are waiting actually for someone I actually had met on the app Clubhouse. Compelling story and raises the question about what is happening with the Special Olympics. She was a swimmer on the team and ran into some interesting situations that hopefully she'll be able to log on with us and talk a little bit about what was happening with especially the Texas branch of the Special Olympics. And it's kind of fitting, guys, because I don't know if the news has been updated lately, but the last thing I saw is that several members of the Haitian Special Olympic team were missing. So I don't know if they finally came back. I don't know if you guys saw anything in the news, but yeah, it was kind of a weird story going on with the Special Olympics.
I have not seen that. I just know for many years I always volunteered with the Special Olympics, so that's the only thing I know about it. But no, haven't heard anything in the news about it.
So what you hear?
Hop on here, go to social media for a second here. We got some kudos from Mr. Brandon Thompson. He says he thinks it's a pretty darn good show. So Brandon, we appreciate you. Certainly keep us locked in here on the time that we come on, which is 8 o'clock on Tuesdays, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Eastern Standard Time, 8 o'clock. So again, we're going to talk a little bit with our guest. She's going to tell us a little bit about her story, the Special Olympics. It really kind of stunned me. She has claimed that the Special Olympics don't really treat their athletes the best, and some of the treatment that she had. And then, of course, at the end of her segment, we're going to kind of get her opinion really quick, since she is a Texan, about the whole Deshaun Watson case. Is he in more trouble, or are we going to possibly see an extended suspension, as much as 8 to 12 games? As a matter of fact, while we're waiting for her, let's kind of chop that question up. What do you
Well,
guys
before
think?
you do that, Tyrone was asking you something.
Oh, go ahead, Tyrone.
You brought up the scandal, the Special Olympics. What are you hearing? What have you come about? And maybe we can elaborate on it a little bit.
Right. So basically, I wanted the guest to kind of do that. She claims that she has been severely mistreated by the Special Olympics. Also, there's some question about where the money has gone, and she claims that that the Special Olympics has even shown some racism, at least in the Texas branch. And she's been all over several podcasts. We want to try to get her feedback on what the real story is. I did some back checking. There was a story that actually was taken down about a Special Olympic coach that had used the N word with one of the athletes. It was up on Fox News, and then mysteriously, when I went to follow the link, it said that this story is gone. So I want to get some feedback there to see whether that is what the truth is and what the depth of the problem is. And then we're going to also talk with her on an expanded version on our monthly show that we do on TV, Spirit of Sports. But yeah, we do want to get some feedback from her to kind of some of the things she's been going through down there with the Special Olympics and the treatment of athletes and athletes of color. So hopefully she'll be joining us. Hopefully she did not confuse the time. I did tell her that we were on 8:30 Eastern time. So hopefully she understands that's 7:30 on Texas time. So I'm going to text her now. And while we're waiting for that, I'd like to get you guys some feedback here on Deshaun Watson. Tyrone, looks like he has another individual that's now suing, one or two more people. How badly do you think that may affect the NFL's length of suspension with Deshaun now that we have more people kind of piling on, so to speak?
I don't know. I think I'm a flip that back on you, Jonathan. You asked the question majority of the time. We rarely give you an opportunity to give your opinion. So this one, I want you to take the lead on it. What do you think with that question you just proposed?
All right. Well, okay. I'll be very candid and open. I was actually trying to text our guest, but since you put me back on the spot and we're live, we're gonna. I look at it like this. I mean, to me, I just think the league kind of knew and does know. I said the same thing to Michael Vick situation. Anytime these players get suspended, Tyrone, the league has a very prodigious security division. It ranks up there with the FBI and some of your major police departments. So the idea that the league would be shocked or be surprised that there are more participants in this situation really doesn't shock me, or doesn't really make a big difference. I think the only way it'll make a difference if you get a huge outcry from fans, from women's group, that may affect it. But right now, I got the guy originally pegged at 2 to 4 games, so that's kind of where I'm going to leave it. Probably closer to 4 now with this versus the 2. Let's go to social media here. Let's go here to our man Todd. He's asking about the Special Olympics question about Jerry Lewis. I'm not too sure about that. That was several years ago. There was some indication there might be a scandal. And let's go here to our friend Brandon Thompson. Actually, the question for Tyrone. He said, what was the favorite team that you played on of the teams you played on in the NFL, Tyrone?
They all were my favorite. They all did something special. So all of them were my favorite team. But Tree, what do you think about that? The question Jonathan proposed.
About the Deshaun Watson?
Yes.
I don't think it, at this point, I don't think it makes a difference that another woman has come forward. And I think that the same thing that I thought a few weeks ago is that I think he will get a suspension, even though that there was no prosecution by law. But I do think that they will suspend him. And I think probably 4-game suspension. That's just my thoughts on it. But no, I don't think another woman coming forward is going to make much of a difference of what they're already investigating and what they're already looking at.
And I just add this right here, what I'm about to say, let it be understood. I have a daughter. So, but I am a person that I cut down the middle. And I know we live in a world system where the world system is scandalous, man. This ain't about, people really doing right, even when they get on the stand, take the stand, put their hand on the Bible. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Yes, I do. Is that you? Is that you on that video? No, that is not me on that video. What? They just lie through their teeth. But I say all that to say, I think, just me personally, these lawyers, they know their game now. Good lawyers, they're not going to show their hand. They're not going to play all their cards. I think they probably had 2 or 3 females and they say, hey, you know what? We're gonna hold on to you guys. We're gonna hold on to you guys. We're not gonna let you come forward yet, because the pro athletes have been known, or people of significance have been known, to kind of like let them, get away with stuff. So what we would do, it's just me talking, okay? If it starts to get bad, then we're gonna let you bring your testimony on. Because I'm like, at the end of the day, if you're trying to prosecute somebody, don't you go out there and get all your information. So when you go the first time, you're like, boom, let's put a cap on this thing. Now I understand people, could be sleeping up under rocks and probably, hey, you know what? I just woke up from a 30-year sleep and I just heard about the Deshaun Watson thing. I want to put my name up there. I don't know. Again, like I said, I go for both sides. I support, like humanity, should I say, not both sides. I support humanity. So if anybody's doing the right thing, I support you. But I also know that there are people who we think that are good and they're doing bad things. And there are people who are bad who are doing good things. And what I mean by that, there are drug dealers who we say are bad people. But you can take and put that drug dealer around your kids, your 8-year-old daughter, and they will not touch your 8-year-old daughter. And then we got people who's supposed to be calling the word of God. What happened to you? He touched me in the wrong place. So don't get it confused, people. Do not get it confused, all right? So at the end of the day, I'm just saying, I do know that this world system is scandalous. And, I'm not supporting Deshaun and anything that he did. I'm not supporting I'm just saying, I'm just calling spade a spade. I do think they kind of harbor stuff and then, boom, bring it out later on. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But either way, wrong is wrong.
Yeah. Now that would make sense for them to hold on to another witness, but you can't do that in the court system with law. So you have to have all of your witnesses and you have to give defense time to do their due diligence so that they can ask questions and stuff. So now that all of the legal cases are done for the social cases, yes, they can definitely do that, but that wouldn't have worked for the legal cases.
Yeah,
but
so
I
Todd
agree.
said, who in the heck contact 66 massage therapists in 18 months? I mean, that's kind of different. And H.C. Hardy just simply said, preach. So look, at the end of the day, I mean, that's the only thing that kind of was odd to me, was just the sheer number. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, if I'm a world-class athlete, and I've never been one, but I would think, how many people do you want handling you? Wow, that gotta, I guess it's that obvious. Yes, I was not a world-class athlete, but I'm just thinking that how many people would you want to handle you? At the end of the day, I mean, if your body is what's making you money, how many people do you want to do this?
You don't have to be a world-class athlete. That's what people get it confused, man. They start labeling people. Just like we were talking about the basketball thing. We isolate one situation, one person, one group of people. Man, this is this what should I say? Isolate one a person or a group of people in that particular arena. Man, this is a world thing. You got people who basically working for sanitation companies, going and getting they little quickie on. Come on, man, don't get it confused. It's just that these people who make the most money, they're the ones that are on top of the mountain that people see the most. But man, you dig down to it, everybody doing it. Everybody's done it. Don't get it twisted, man. It's just how much money determines whether or not they're gonna go after you. If you ain't got nothing, what we wasting our time on you for? People ain't gonna turn the TV on and go see John Doe. But they'll turn the TV on to go see this dude who just signed this multi-million-dollar deal. Come on, get it twisted, man. Everybody caught up in it.
All right,
test not coming to man. All right. It's just some people know how to keep their mouth closed, and some people they get exposed more. That's all it is.
Yeah, I don't know about
said he's looking at how the NFL suspended Greg Hardy with the Panthers. Yeah, man. I'm not trying to take any shots at any particular group of people. I'm just trying to connect the dots. I'm thinking to myself, if you are in that position, if your body is in fact, your tool. I'm thinking like, just from a common sense point of view, how many people you want to kind of interact and handle you like that. And the other thing too is that kind of throw everything kind of sideways. At that level, if you got a lot of money, you should have some connects, but you have to be on Instagram, making it do what it do. But that's a whole nother situation. Well, it does appear that my guest did not have the link. She's got it now. I see her back in the green room. We're going to bring her on. She is a Special Olympian, a matter of fact, a medalist from out of the state of Texas. Miss Ashton Smith is in the building. Welcome to our show.
Welcome. Hey, how are y'all doing?
Doing great. Evidently, I guess you didn't have the link. I was like, what? Where's she at?
Yeah, I need it. Yeah, I was like, I know you said StreamYard, but I got the link, got my hat, got my shirt for the Special Olympics. So absolutely, I'm excited. Well, glad to be here.
Tell us a little bit about what's been going on. You fired some big allegations out there. So kind of go over and tell us what's going on and what's been happening to you down in deep in the heart of Texas.
Like I said, this is the Special Olympics hat. This is what we got when we went to World and National Games. This is the National Games hat. This is what we got. And honest to God, to tell you the truth, I don't make a lot of money. I don't make any money at all in the Special Olympics, right? This is the shirts that we got when we went to World and National Games, right? These are the medals that we got back here hanging up behind me. We get nothing else. We get no other awards except for medals. And what's been going on deep in the heart of Texas is that when you work as hard as I do at the age of almost 40 years old, I'm, 36 years old with nothing to show for what I've done. And when you work as hard as I have, you don't want to be relegated to working at your local Walmart. You don't want to be relegated to poverty. Right. And I have experienced all of those things, including homelessness and having to sleep outside because of the Special Olympics. Having to, I had a child, right? I had to give away my child because I don't have the money to take care of a baby, let alone myself. And so when you deal with serious issues like that, Special Olympics, at the end of the day, it doesn't help us. And so for me, my grandmother raised me. To tell you a little bit about myself, she did. She was a catalyst in my life. My mom is no longer here, right? My mom's no longer here. She died. And so she died this year. And it's been very difficult because my mom was somebody that I leaned on. My brother was somebody I leaned on. And my sister was someone that I leaned on. And none of those people are here anymore. And those folks are the reason that I was in Special Olympics. My mother was the reason that I was in that program, right? And my grandmother, because they said, yes, they said, you can do this. And so I continue to do Special Olympics since the 90s. That's a long time, since the 90s. And this is now, past the early 2000s. And I've been in that program for over 30 years. And in my life, you put this effort together. Thank you, grandmother. Thank you, mother, and all the people in my life and mentors who made it happen. But at the end of the day, I want better for my life and not just a hat, right? We got a hat. That's all we got when we competed, a hat and a T-shirt. A lot of this stuff, I ended up having to sell it, get rid of it, because we're in a pandemic, right? When you're in a pandemic, you can't have medals on the wall. That's life. And what I've had to do is survive in this life because I have nobody left that can help me anymore. That's a fact, guys.
Let me ask you a question. One of the things I think you had mentioned and was the expenses. So how are your expenses covered as an athlete when you are participating with the Special Olympics? Do they cover those expenses? Do the athlete have to raise all the money themselves? How does that work?
We're forced to do something called a fundraising kit. That's where you literally go out and beg the public for money. I was not allowed to, I'm being exploited. That is what it is. And when you have to beg for money on the side of the road, like the firefighters do when they put the boot and the money in the boot, that was me. Instead of a boot and dressed up like a firefighter, I'm dealing with issues that are for real, like homelessness. And at that time, I had to be dressed like that because I was like that. And Special Olympics honestly did not care if I had a place to live. They didn't care if I died. The things that I dealt with in that program was utterly horrific, including the racism I suffered and financial abuse. I had to file bankruptcy against the Special Olympics because, watch this, I had to pay for hotels. I had to pay for food, accommodations, transportation, uniforms, shoes, you name it. I had to pay for it, and nobody helped me. It's unacceptable to be an African American and not be able to financially fulfill the things that you need. You can't be anybody in the Special Olympics. You can't grow financially because they think that you're disabled and you can't handle money, or I'm told I'm not allowed to have money or position unless it's working a 9-to-5 job. I'm not allowed to be a public speaker. I'm not allowed to do anything like have a business because they think that you're cuckoo. I'm serious. They think that disabled people, the CEO of that program essentially told me that I don't need money to live, that my mom's going to take care of me. My dad's, it's always somebody else's responsibility to take care of me. And Special Olympics doesn't teach you that society going to knock you in your face. And that's a fact. Society is not responsible for taking care of you because you're disabled. The government's not responsible for taking care of you because you have a disability. What the government is here to do is teach me how to have a business. And that's something that the Special Olympics, amen to God, cannot teach me. I want to have an LLC so that by God, I'm not sitting here struggling anymore. And that dream is fixing to come true.
One last thing I'll do because we have to go into our football segment. The other thing I wanted to touch on, you had mentioned that there was some racism, and I mentioned to my two co-hosts earlier that there was an article that was on Fox News. I guess it's also been in other arenas. It was taken down. So if you can just briefly tell us what you experienced there, and then hopefully we'll have you back on at another time where we can kind of get more in depth into what has happened to you and what's happening in the Special Olympics. And really quickly, our co-host Tree, she has worked with them for years. She is not, I think, Tree, you can speak for yourself. I don't think you've seen anything from your vantage point working with them, I don't think.
Oh no, I've been working with Special Olympics since undergrad in Tennessee and here in Georgia, and I haven't seen anything. So
that's different. You're in different. So this is
I
Texas.
can speak for Texas and what's going on there.
Yeah, this is Texas.
Perfect. All right, so just tell us really quickly here what's happening down there, and like I say again, we'll wrap it up, and then hopefully we'll bring you on at another time, or either do a taped interview with you so you can go in more detail some of the things that are going on. Just quickly, as far as information, if you go online, the Special Olympics, like most large organizations, does generate a lot of revenue, about $130 million annually.
Right.
And it doesn't go into what the expenses are. But anyway, let's just focus on the racism ticket real quick. And then, like I said, we'll let you go because we have to move into some football.
Yes. When I was in that program, I cried out about an athlete who threatened to essentially hang me, shoot me, and murder me. And that's what it was. The lady did not like me because I'm an African American. And she said that. She said, I don't like you for being black. Black people shouldn't be allowed to swim and all these other things. And she proceeded to talk about me openly over the open well. And Special Olympics celebrated it by kicking me out of the program and telling me, N-word, don't come back. We're talking about the CEO of the program came to my house at 10 p.m. at night and did not give me the right to arbitration. We're talking about utter racism. And at the end of the day, I know that if I do the right things, I continue to be positive, and we end on a positive note. At the end of the day, God is going to uplift me so that I never have to go through the utter poverty of stealing my awards or dealing with the racism, right? Hats and stuff, all this stuff is great, but it doesn't matter if you're not valued as a person. They treated property, hats, shirts, and stuff better than me. I get treated as if I am property. I don't have a name. I had to walk around with the Constitution folded up in my pocket because coaches and people would tell me essentially through their actions that I'm not valued. South Lake Carroll School District, look that up, was on the national news for racism, and I had to swim there. My skin color is not wanted in the state that I am in. Why? Because it is projected in my face. When people project that towards you, then you know you're not accepted. Am I saying that all white people or others are racist? No, I'm saying there was nothing done about the racism that I suffered in the Special Olympics. And when I went to the police about it, I got kicked out of their program for going to the Fort Worth police. And that should never be. I always have the right on the federal and state law to talk to any law enforcement officer or anybody in authority without retribution. And so I'm grateful every day for a show like this to tell my story, to be honest and positive. And the positive thing is in my life now, after all that, God blessed me with a book. That book is called Swimming Upstream to Realize the Dream. You folks go get that at Walmart, Amazon, and you folks will love it. We have the Kindle version of that, that's $2.99, and we have the paperback version of my book for $15. So I think you folks will love my story. We will get in more detail about it, and I cannot wait until we do the second recording of my story. God bless everybody, and I want to end this on a positive note. God be with y'all, and may God have grace over your lives. I'm glad y'all had me on this show today to tell my story in more detail about the Special Olympics. You guys Google me, Ashton Smith Special Olympics, and know my story. Cash out me, please, if you can, because that's the way that I support myself. Golden Ashton and Cash Out. Love you, folks. Love
Again,
y'all.
the story is very compelling. Again, we look forward to, seeing through additional research and commentary from others how you're going. Like I said, you've been on several shows. There's documentation of some racism there in the Special Olympics, and we'll see what happens, because this is in fact called the Real Talk Sports Show, and we always try to bring people on to tell their story.
Right.
And Steve also put the news clip there in the chat, so we'll do that. Listen, Ashton, be safe, and we'll see you again next time.
You too, and just look at the fact, Special Olympics just lost like athletes, like 7 athletes or something on the news. So I always tell people, get your own house in order before judging my house. Amen. So that's what y'all can look up for your homework tonight.
All right.
Love y'all.
Be safe. All right. Well, that's something we're going to do some more research on as well. And we look forward to seeing what is going to happen all there. We're going to take a little quick reset break, and then we'll come on with the man that is hanging out in the green room, the one and only D. Orlando Ledbetter. We'll be back with the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Don't go nowhere.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
All right, we're back here at the Real Talk Sports Show. Next to me, the Queen, Miss Tree Dolman. Right beneath us, the one and only two-time Super Bowl champion, Mr. Tyrone Poole, and waiting in the wings, he is the official beat writer for AJ Sports to cover our Atlanta Falcons. He is also an award-winning sports writer, and he's Esquire par excellence. Mr. D. Orlando Ledbetter is back. Sir, welcome back to our broadcast.
Oh, thank you, Reverend Simmons. Thanks for having me today. Hello, Miss Tree and Brother Tyrone. How are you all doing today?
All right,
Doing good. How you doing, D-Led?
All right.
You see, you got the, I'm going to go back to that again. Got that nice, that's the mock neck shirt right there. That's the mock turtleneck. Got the yellow, nice and bright. Praise the Lord.
Yeah, it was a little hot, a little smoky out there at the field today, so I'm a little glazed too. I'm a little tan going.
No doubt. We got another thank you there for our last guest. She says he appreciate us having her on the show. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on in the world, man, good and bad, but we're going to talk about the Falcons because that's what people are waiting for. D-Led, what's been going on? Actually, let me take a step back. I've been talking. Ms. Dolman, would you have questions for Mr. Ledbetter before I start?
Oh, you can go ahead. And I wanted to hear what he wanted to say about what's been going on with the Falcons. So
I'm just trying to get just want to try to get some feedback on what's been happening with the Falcons up there. Circling back again to the idea of a third string quarterback also playing tight end. And I'll start with that.
Yeah, Reverend. What I found out here in the last couple of days is that they're not going to bring in a fourth quarterback. They're not going to bring in a camp arm. They want to split all the reps between Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota. They want to have both of those guys ready to play. Marcus's history is that he's not going to make it through the entire season. It's a 17-game season, and there are going to be times when they want to start Ridder. So they have to get him ready to play. So they're force feeding him. They don't need Felipe. He's going to be the third quarterback. He doesn't need any reps, basically, is what they're saying. So, hey, go play some tight end. They're trying to fast track Ridder, get him as ready to play as quickly as possible. Because Marcus is Marcus is a guy that has had injuries in the past. And they know he helped. He was there when Marcus started, and he knows that the quarterbacks struggle calling plays right away. They can't. It's so much verbiage. Tyrone knows this. They call out every position pretty much, and then the formation. Then you might have an option off of it. And so the kids just learn how to call plays, basically, is what this whole offseason was about. Then you could graduate to start, putting in game plans and attacking people and doing stuff like that. So I don't think he's going to be ready to play right away, but they're trying to make sure he's ready, probably by the middle of the season or, definitely by late in the season. So that's why you only have the two quarterbacks in camp.
We see Todd already throwing a little shot. He says, hey, Ritter's acting like he's the starter already, and Marcus seems a little timid.
Yeah, that's the MO. Marcus is not going to be a leader. That's what the former coaches told me. He's not. That's just not his persona. Whereas the other kid is A-type personality. But I mean, he got to learn the plays. He got to learn what he's doing. He can talk a good game, but you gotta be able to play a good game.
Speaking of the quarterbacks, I've seen both ways that NFL franchises bring quarterbacks in. I saw it in Carolina where first ever, a team inaugural season, and they drafted Kerry Collins, but they let Frank Reich start, I think about two games or so. And then after that, Kerry Collins took over. And then I saw it in Indianapolis where as soon as Peyton hit the ground, he was running with the first team. So I think in Indianapolis, Bill Polian, who I think is a great GM, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people consult with him who are current GMs. But I think Bill Polian's thought was, we're going to get better. We're in a growing stage. So this is the time to throw Peyton Manning in there and let him grow with the team. Because we're not expected to win this year anyways, which we didn't. We went 3-13. But we came back the following year and went 13-3. We lost to the Tennessee Titans. So again, D-Led, my question, I say all that to say, if you are the GM, what do you do? Do you take the approach of, okay, we're going to let Marcus go ahead and start and just let Ridder sit back and then put him in at some point? Or, you know what, we're in the rebuilding stage anyways, bumps and bruises. This is a good way for him to learn on the job.
Yeah, I'm of the old school thought where you sit them and you play when they're ready to play. I don't like the trial by fire situation. I understood what Peyton and them. I mean, we're talking Peyton and Kerry Collins with number 1 overall pick. I think Kerry was a 5. This kid's a 3rd round pick, so he's not in their group. So whatever it takes to get him ready, and you don't know if he's a 3rd round pick. You think he got something, but you don't want to rush him out there when he's not ready to help you win football games. So, but you want to see what you got, because if you got a 3rd round quarterback on that rookie contract, then you can spend some money elsewhere the next couple of years. So you got to find out what you got. I liked how Kansas City did it with Andy Reid with Patrick Mahomes. He didn't play right away. He only played 1 game that first year. Then the next year when he was ready, they traded Alex Smith. That's the kind of situation I think we're in here.
You see on social media, he said, D-Lay, Coach Smith benched Marcus when he was with the Tennessee Titans. How can we believe now that coach is all in with Mariota?
Well, because he lost Deshaun Watson and got rid of his quarterback. So, he's all in for now until he can get rid of Reddy. But they, they both said that, they're in different places now. He definitely benched him. He was part of the decision-making crew there. It worked. They went to the AFC Championship game that year. They made the right move by benching him. So, he knows his flaws. He knew that he couldn't call plays. He knew that he wanted to work out of the shotgun. Knew he was timid, knew he wasn't a leader. Maybe the kid's grown up. He's 28 now. So he was the number 2 overall pick. So, so there's enough there to go with him and see if you could turn him into a player and salvage his career.
Treat. Floor is yours for D-Leg.
Yeah, I guess my concern is with them knowing that he's not a leader, and with football knowing that the quarterback leads the team. What really do you think is their plan for him with teaching him how he can become a leader?
Yeah, I mean, you either got it or you don't. You got to do it your way. If you're not comfortable, leading, then you just got to lead by your play. He doesn't strike me as the rah-rah type. He's not going to stand on the table and lead the cheers. Ritter does. He'll lead the cheers. But, you don't want him leading you out the round door, going out the back door and end up in the pool either. So let him get ready to play. It's just a bridge situation. I don't know. This might be a quarterback of the future. It might not. We kind of know that Mariota's a 29-32 quarterback. He's going to flash. He did win a playoff game. So you got to give him his credit. But yeah, they didn't just they got rid of Matt Ryan. Some people wanted that. And now we're getting ready to see what the whole quarterback carousel thing is like. Hopefully they get it right, and it's not like Tampa Bay where you kept running quarterbacks in there from Josh Freeman and that whole Greasy, Jameis. When you don't have a quarterback, it could be pretty hard to get into that upper echelon of the league.
And D-Leg, staying with the quarterback thing, but moving to another team, but staying in the South. I hear that Carolina, they're really trying to get a sense of urgency with Baker Mayfield in Carolina. Have you been hearing anything about that?
Yeah, that's heating up. They had some activity up there today. The big issue, Tyrone, is Cleveland owes him 18.9. Teams are willing to pay 6. The Browns want to pay half. So, I mean, $3 million. I mean, and Carolina's already got some quarterback money already out on the street. So they don't want to pay $9 million for Baker. 9.3 million. So if they can get him out of Cleveland for 6, and the Browns kind of got to take the deal because they can't just cut him, and then he ends up in Pittsburgh. That's the other talk about Baker. So over the next few days, we're gonna see some movement on that $3 million on how he's gonna get to Carolina.
So you telling me it looks like that's going to be a definite landing spot for Baker from what you're hearing?
There's no place else for him to go, Rev. Seattle doesn't want him. Tennessee don't want him. And the Browns can't cut him because they don't want him to go to Pittsburgh. Don't have as much on Garoppolo, but I followed the Baker one pretty closely. So we could have Brady, Baker, Jameis, and Mariota in the NFC South this year. And they all were number 1, 2 number 1. Well, one guy was a 6th-round pick, Brady. And you got number 1 in Baker, number 2 in Mariota, and a number 1 in Jameis. NFC South quarterback.
If Baker Mayfield comes to Carolina, Jonathan, his 10-win season for the Falcons really gets bad.
That messes up a couple of wins for him, Reverend. That's the couple we've been counting. All of us have been counting the 2 Carolina wins.
Good job, Tyrone.
Okay. This is what I'm sensing again. Doggone it.
I'm telling you,
Don't
I
tell.
cannot wait until this football season, because every single week, and I do mean every week, I just want you to know what I'm giving you. Every L. As a matter of fact, I may make a poster just for you to show on the show. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do just for you. Every week. Every week.
Now we're gonna do it? Okay, we're gonna do it like that? Okay. All right, and so now what happens for every W?
Like I said, I have a poster. So you'll see the losses and you'll see the W's. And I can assure you that the L's will outweigh the W's.
For a minute, but they're gonna catch up. I'm telling you right now, the Falcons are gonna shock the world. I'm telling you right now, they're gonna shock the world. And they'll shock me too. Now
let me ask D-Led, Drake London. What has he been looking like, man? What has he been doing? You know, of course, you got Terrell. He's a veteran at corner and stuff like that. I know they're probably not doing no one-on-ones right now, but, you know, Skelly and how is he looking? I've seen video on the news, but he's like running possession routes, you know, curls and digs and outs and stuff like that. How has he been looking?
Yeah, he's been looking great, Tyrone. That's the subject of my Cover 9 at blog tomorrow's Drake London. It looks like he's going to be ready to play. You know, it's hard to do that projection in the offseason when they haven't put on any pads yet. But he looks the part. TJ Yates had a long conversation with our Gabriel Burns about London and everything. You know, he threw the balls to London at his workout at USC. So, you know, TJ always shoots it straight. You know, Popeye, North Carolina. If it was something up there, a red flag or something, he would have, you know, been respectful about it. But he had nothing but glowing reports to say about him. They're going to move him in the slot, Tyrone. He's not a blazer, you know, but they say he's got enough speed to get over the top. So I'm going to take TJ's word on that. You know, I know what the numbers are, the numbers I saw, you know, and I know the film I watched, a lot of outs, a lot of digs, a lot of you know, he should be a trouble in the slot against nickelbacks. But, yeah, but he's looked pretty good, Tyrone. I think he's going to be a player kind of I think if they use him like the Falcons used to use Muhammad Sanu, you know, possession, third down, move the chains guy, that's where I see him at right away. And then later on, they could start moving him outside and let him go down the field a little bit more.
Can I ask one more question, Jonathan? AJ Terrell. I'm hearing that he is becoming the face of the Falcons franchise, especially like on defense. You know, with him being so young, do you think he's ready to take on that type of leadership? And is he one of the guys that you go to in the secondary when you need to ask those tough questions, when you need answers?
Not yet. I don't. I defer to veterans, so you know I'm gonna go to Hayward's gonna be my guy back there. You know, he just came out today, so you know Cam Hayward, we got a big story on him. AJ, I think they're overhyping him. They gotta sell somebody. You know, his numbers were great because everything was wide open on the other side of the field. So I mean, he's got great numbers because they didn't have to bother with him because somebody was wide open, you know, on most plays. So Fabian Monroe is a tough guy. He stood his ground over there, but you know his numbers were, you know, quarterbacks threw over 115 passer rating over there. So I'm kind of holding back a little bit on the AJ hype, Tyrone, because I mean he followed Diggs around up in Buffalo, did a pretty good job, got a pick up there. But as far as him being a lockdown corner that you put on the top guy every week, I haven't seen that. You know, maybe that's coming, and I'll be the first one to give him credit for that. But yeah, I'm kind of slow on I'm still with Grady over there, and I won't get to Hayward. I kept trying to get Dion, but Dion doesn't have any interest in leading either. and that might cost him, being shown the door here. They pay you $20 million. You need to be doing a little bit more than just holding up your end of the bargain. That's why they didn't have any problem giving Jake Matthews and Grady Jarrett some money this offseason. So, yeah, my guys over there are going to be, Grady, and I'm going to have to learn the new guy, Rashawn Evans, and Lorenzo Carter's one of my guys over there. I've been knowing him since high school and so forth. He actually, my daughter was his junior prom date, so kind of been knowing the Carter family for a while. So, I got my guys over there. AJ, my guys play with him. Some of my Smyrna guys played with AJ at Westlake High. So, I know some of his high school teammates from, and the family where he lives at and all that over in Guilford Ford. Well, I shouldn't be giving his subdivision out. But a good kid. I'm a good kid. But I'm gonna let him grow a little bit more. I want to see a little bit more before we crown him AJ's Island or something over there. We'll give him a better nickname than that. But I want to see a little bit more and some competitive situations on a good defense.
Yeah, and I just believe that any championship team has to have multiple leaders. And like I said, I've been a part of an organization where on defense, just defense, we had Richard Seymour. He wasn't a vocal leader, but he was a leader. Teddy Bruschi, Will McGinnis. We had Mike Vrabel. We had Rodney Harrison. So we had almost the whole defense.
Right.
So that's why I think teams that don't win, those are teams that when you look over there, they don't have probably one or two leaders on defense. If you're going to win, you got to have a lot of leaders over there, man.
Yeah, you got to win. Those guys got to win their battles too, and once those guys started winning and it gets together and starts growing, you got more than Grady getting to the quarterback. You got Lorenzo, maybe Audie, maybe the young kid Arnold. It'll start growing like that. But yeah, spend some time with Willie at the combine up in Indianapolis. Hung out with him at the Eric Bieniemy table. The old California guys were hanging out, and Eric's my frat brother. So I got to talk to Willie about, hey, we got Richard in. It takes a while. Your name's still up there. People speaking well of you. So, we had a little Hall of Fame discussion up there in Indy with Willie. So I always appreciated him.
Yeah, really good dude.
I'm gonna go to social media because everybody's having fun here. So, Tree, here we go. This H.C. Hardy, he says it might be a tough season for the Falcons, but the entire Detroit Lions team should be on the altar every Sunday. Oh my God!
No, you did not, H.C. Hardy.
Dude, you're not showing no love, bro. You might get cut off.
You're wrong for that, H.C. Hardy.
I still think Jacksonville win more games than Detroit. I still think Jacksonville gonna win more games than Detroit.
Well, I don't, and
look at Brandon Thompson.
The Lions are gonna win more games than the Falcons.
Wow, Brandon, I believe you. Oh, you talking about our previous guest? Okay, no worries. Let's go to Todd here. Todd was asking a question before. He was like, "Okay, let me see if I got it back here. Is the right question from Todd? Let's see." So I can get it.
Yeah, I believe her too.
Here. Yep, here we go. Let's go. There we go.
Yeah, I dropped that story in the chat from the Dallas Observer over her.
That was you, D-Led. Okay, perfect. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. The other thing that Todd was asking before, he's asking D-Led the question, if in fact he had to pick a quarterback right now. Here we go. See what we got it here. Let's go to this question. Okay, so there's one last question. If you were on the team, are we heading in the right direction? That's his thing. Are you seeing a progression towards a restoration of a winning Falcons program?
Well, we're gonna see when they put the pads on, Reverend. It's kind of hard to tell from the off-season programs. I mean, they're pro athletes. They work out, man. They look pretty good in the shorts and helmets, man. So I need them to go bump some heads with the Jets Jaguars this offseason, I love these joint practices because they're intense, and just coaches got to keep the guys from fighting. So, the old days with tour days and all that, those days are over. You could tell. I mean, the Packers in '95, I knew that team was getting ready to do something big. They had been knocking on the door, Dallas and 49ers, and you could tell early on. With the way the offseason is now, where you don't get to see any real practices, they stretching half the time, no pads, very few padded practices, no tackling to the ground. It's a little bit hard analysis. I told Coach Smith at that Top Golf out, I was like, I don't know how y'all get them ready to play because y'all can't hit no more. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get that good sense until now. I kind of wait till after the fourth game, because I done seen, about the fourth game, you've seen it, and they haven't played anybody in the exhibition game. So, but if we get to see the players play in the exhibition game, we're gonna know. I think we know the low end, we're on the ground floor of a rebuild. And on the high end is, hey, they got these last two drafts right. And these guys can play. Now, all them guys last year, they played, but they didn't play.
Yeah.
They got a lot of playing time, but I didn't see them do a whole lot. I'm sorry. Kyle Pitts got a lot of yards and 1 touchdown. Richie Grant played on special teams, couldn't play at his position. Tyquan Graham played a lot, didn't see him in the backfield. I watched all the games, and Audie, 5th round pick, played a lot, didn't see him at the quarterback. He got 1 sack. And I could go on down. Drew Dahlman, they tried to play him at center. That rotating center didn't work. He's gonna get to play this year. So I want to see. I want to see what these guys can do. They should be a little bit better in the second year. And these rookies, they're gonna get a chance to play. We got to see what they can do, and that's gonna be the foundation for the turnaround. If they missed in these last 2 drafts, they're gonna be drafting again high this year. So it was a 3-year program to get it turned around up front, and we're only in year 2.
As adding a little bit, how do you know when your team is about to make that switch or make that turnaround? I'll tell you personally. And D-Led actually mentioned it as well, the Green Bay Packers. Okay. Now, a lot of people may see it differently, but I think, what I'm saying is true. They got over the hump when they brought Andre Rison in. They brought Andre Rison in. He played the other side, opposite of Antonio Frank. And then boom, they got over the hump, so to speak. So if you want to know whether or not the Falcons are ready to go back to the Super Bowl, when you say they're missing one thing, one player, that's when they're about to go over the hump. But they still missing 22 guys.
Yeah, they missing quite a few, Tyrone. Yeah, they got BB that year too, and Desmond Howard to do the returns and kickoffs.
Yeah. There you go. They went about those missing pieces. We just need somebody to turn the kicks. We need somebody on the opposite side that Antonio Freeman, so that Favre can throw the ball to. We got a good running game. We got a good passing game off of it. Defense is stacked. We got Reggie White over there. Defense is good. We just get some pieces on special teams and another wide receiver, then boom. So until the Falcons get to that point, and like you said, D-Led, they may be still drafted in that top 10 again.
Let's go to social media here real quick here. H.C. Hardy, we always saw if he's already trying to help himself out. He's going to say, love you, Queen, but he had to do it. Now, he asked a question, where's Julio and what team do you think he might end up with? I'll ask actually everybody about that. D-Led, who do you think Julio might finally get to sign on with? Or will he?
Yeah, I don't think he will because I heard he wants too much money. With us at the end of your career, when the reality is that, hey, they don't have a lot of money for you, you decide to go ahead and move on to whatever your next thing is. I'd heard Green Bay early on, and then I heard a little bit of Saints, but it's been kind of quiet on the Julio front for the last couple of weeks. I know he don't want to go to OTAs or anything, so we might not see anything happen with him until right before training camp.
A shout out there for the Patriots, Tyrone, Brandon Thompson. He's from all the way up in Maine. So he's got to give a shout out there for the Patriots. And of course, everybody's going to continue to ride me. Fantasy football. Goat Strategy says Falcons 5 wins at the best.
Yes.
1 second. Let me go back up to the top there. Let me look at that 4 square. Did I see the queen like applauding and cheering?
I did. Because like I said, he said at best. I concur. So I don't think you're getting your 10.
All right,
that would be one heck of that'd be a heck of a story, Reverend, if they somehow got to 10 wins and got to the playoffs. Hey, the Biz might be rocking again. That'd be awesome.
And they'll be beating the path to my door because the preacher called it out and spoke it into existence.
Yeah. They'll be selling preacher cloths. You'll be they'll have a little preacher with a JS and a dirty bird on it. You can sell prayer cloths.
Look here, man. Arthur Blank might have me run out in front of the team with the flame. I'm just saying, if they get to 10 wins. So I guess I'll go tonight and dream about that. Me running out in the field with the see that?
Freddie Falcon. You and Freddie Falcon waving the prayer cloths.
Okay, Tom, I'm glad you cleaned that up, bro, because I thought you said get the preacher a girlfriend. You said get him a gig. Oh, you mean working. All right. Tighten up, Todd. Tighten up now. You about to get in the preacher's business now. Hold up, a gig. All right, for y'all that are watching, he not trying to matchmake me. He said I just need a gig. Not a, anyway. All right. One last thing before we let you go, D-Led. There was I think it was a picture somewhere floating around where dude, I guess he had been seeing Tyrone doing his thing, work that thing with them 8-pack. Caleb McGarry came out looking like the Hulk. Has he been playing like the Hulk in the OTA? What's going on with him? What's up?
Which player, Reverend?
Caleb McGarry. He had he came out and So does he look like he's gonna move anybody this year? Or that's just show muscle? What's he doing?
Yeah, he always looked pretty good. He just has underperformed. I don't expect him to be in the starting lineup. I expect German and Fetty to move past him once they put on the pads. But he's been durable. He's been able to go out there and play 16, 17 games. He's got 40-something games under his belt. If he could block, by now we would know it. So it's not going to be a real big increase in what he can do. But, they could play call it, run him, because, you can't get in a passing situation with him because he can't pass protect. So, he's going to struggle against elite speed. So if you run the ball 30 times, 35 times a game, might probably be okay. He's going to win some battles over there. But, he's just he's not fleet of foot over there to handle those edge rushers coming off the corner over there.
All right, well, they're going to run the ball anyway. They're going to give my boy the ball. Mr. Allison. They're going to give him the ball and pound and ground. And they're going to also give it to the young man that they got from Kansas City. And in response to that, Fantasy Football says the preacher better go lay hands on the stadium on Sunday if he expects the Falcons to win 10 games. All right. Okay, y'all mocking me now. That's all right.
Now, stick to your guns, Reverend. You could be the only one saying, "Hey, I told you so."
I'm gonna tell Reverend just like Ice Cube did in his song "No Vaseline." When he telling Dr. Dre was trying to rap, he told Dr. Dre, "Yo, Dre, stick to producing." So I'm gonna tell Reverend, stick to producing, stick to
You gonna do me like that?
Get away from producing. Stick to producing the Real Talk Sports Show.
On that, I'm gonna wrap it up, man. Y'all can't treat me like this. Hey, go on my own show. I'd hate to see what y'all do to me if I was a guest. Dang. All right, you know how to wrap it up, guys. Each time we wrap this thing up, we want to make sure that you guys know how to follow our guests and check them out. Please do this. Follow them on social media. See support what they're doing here. They take time out of their busy schedule and hang out with us. Answer your question on Facebook, because I'm telling you, a lot of these guys come on. You turn on some of these other stations, y'all know you don't get no love. You can't get your question on. You can't get a call, and you can't get nothing. On the Real Talk Sports Show, you get it. All right. You know how
Before we wrap it up, I just want all of y'all to hear me say, I need you to add the Atlanta Dream logo to the top. That's all I want to say. Represent our WNBA.
Oh, yeah, they're hot right now. I got to get out to a game.
You right. All right. Well, we're going to do that. I'm going to get one more shot in, Hardy. Go ahead.
Good job,
Yep.
Tree.
Wow.
Thanks.
And the Falcons share. So I got a group.
I get some Pam. Bam. There we go.
Got you.
There you go, D-Led.
Yeah.
There we go right there. Speaking of D-Led, sir, you know how we do it. The floor is yours.
Yeah, you can find all my work on ajc.com. Our Twitter is at DOrlandoAJC, and we're on the gram at DOrlandoLit. At the Bowtie Chronicles podcast, dropping in the morning at 8 a.m., discussing the position battles at the Falcons camp. And also the Bowtie Cover 9 at 9 blog at 9 o'clock tomorrow, where we're looking at Drake London, the rookie high draft pick wide receiver, and going into great detail discussing his game with wide receiver coach TJ Yates. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for reading. Thanks for listening. You all have a great evening.
Nice.
Get it in. Had to get it in. D-Led.
Let me see the bark, D-Led. Let me see the bark before you go. Let me see.
Oh, no, we're good. I want to wake up the neighbors.
Oh, man. D-Led, we appreciate you, sir. God bless.
All right, D-Led.
Oh, my gosh.
Uh-oh. Jonathan took himself off.
Well, hey, you know what? They can follow me at Tyrone Poole 38, all social medias. It's always a great show. I know Minister pop back in here in a few.
Yeah, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm too excited. All right.
Yeah.
Mr. Tyrone Poole.
Yeah, I already got him. I appreciate it, Minister.
Oh, you got it already? For real?
Got it,
Get your banner up one time. Hold up, bro. Let me get the banner up. You know, I'm kind of a little sluggish. Let me get the banner up. There it is. Tyrone Poole 38. Tyrone Poole 38.
Hey, get your foot off that cord, man.
Wait, boy, we in rare form tonight. All right, Tyrone Poole. Appreciate you, bro. God bless. Oh my gosh, boy, we some people. All right, Miss Teresa Nolan, Miss Tree, the Queen herself. The floor is yours. Oh my gosh.
Hello, everyone. You can find me at all social media at It's Latresa, as well as Ms. America International 2022. And yes, it has changed for the final time. So I will no longer be the queen after 2022. I know that it's changed a lot, but you can find me at all social media again at It's Latresa, as well as Ms. America International 2022.
Well, see, that's you, but that's because you're a bad woman. See, there's very few women that can say, I held the crown for 3 years. That's what I'm saying. The queen is in the house. All right. You know me, guys. I'm put up here right quick. I'm the guy that is your laugh-a-minute preacher. But I'm actually a real preacher. So before I go, no joke aside, I want to ask you, do you know the Lord? I mean, do you know God? Do you have a relationship with him? I'm going to tell you how easy it is. Number one, you repent of your sins. Number two, you believe that his son, Jesus Christ, came here, walked on the earth, both fully man and fully God, and did something that's beyond the pale. He actually died a horrific death on the cross, but he rose from the dead. When he rose, he had a wonderful thing in his hand called salvation. And what that means is that now two things happen to you when you believe in him. Number one, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number two, you become an adoptive child of God. Now, what does that mean to you? That means that you now can look at God, the creator of the universe, everything that you see, even things you don't see, no longer as this force, but now he's your dad. So that means you can come to him and ask him anything that you need or desire, according to his will, of course, he'll grant it to you. And number two, when you die, you get to go to that happy place called heaven, where there's none of the following: no pandemic, no pain, no inflation, no bad people of any type. You never get old. You never die. It's always sunny. Every single building is adorned with the most spectacular jewels we've ever seen. As a matter of fact, the streets themselves are paved with a gold that's so pure it's translucent. And you get a chance to not only see God face to face, Jesus face to face, but all the other Bible characters and the people that you love so much to help you get into the kingdom by their testimony. And you avoid that nasty place called hell, where all the things that are in heaven won't be in hell. So it's going to be a terrible place, dark, stinky, bad people, painful. But most of all, you'll be cut off from God and all the people that you love forever and a day. I don't know about you, but I like option number one. instead of option number 2. All right, guys, until the next time that you see us again, we say as we always do, God bless you and have a wonderful night. So long.
Bye.